Ladies and gentlemen, the world stands at a crossroads, and the cause of freedom in Iran hangs precariously in the balance. For more than 4 decades, global powers have borne witness to the Islamic Republic of Iran's terrorism and repression, belligerence and hostilities. We've witnessed human rights abuses and hostage takings and proxy violence. We've seen arms shipments and the export of fundamentalism. And in recent months, we've watched as the regime has arrested and detained thousands upon thousands of protesters. But we've also seen courageous acts of resistance by the Iranian people. The regime and all that it has come to represent is finally being exposed for the world to see. But now the world has a choice to make. Will we support the aspirations of the Iranian people for a more peaceful and liberal and democratic future? Or will we continue to appease the murderous mullahs in Tehran? Let me be absolutely clear. I am proud to stand with the Iranian people in their quest for freedom and democracy in Iran. This summer, I had the great privilege, along with some of the speakers who you've heard from tonight, of joining a bipartisan delegation of senior U.S. officials who embarked on a fact-finding mission at Ashraf 3, the MEK's new home in Albania. Our delegation included 4-star generals, Democrats and Republicans, independents, liberals and conservatives, foreign policy experts, sitting members of Congress, former cabinet members, ambassadors, intelligence experts, military officers, governors, academics, and human rights advocates. Joining us in Tehran were more than 350 dignitaries from 47 countries. During our trip, we gathered firsthand insights about the principal opposition to clerical rule. And we concluded what scholars have long understood, but Washington has been reluctant to acknowledge, and that is that the ayatollahs are not a permanent fixture of the Middle East landscape. Iran fears its people more than anything else, and the regime in Tehran is more vulnerable than ever before. What our delegation witnessed was truly extraordinary and deeply promising. We saw with our own eyes a cohesive, organized political opposition movement with a long history of struggle against fundamentalism and dictatorship, guided by a gifted female leadership with a well-defined political platform and an intricate network of passionate supporters both inside Iran and around the world. It was like looking into Iran's democratic and pluralistic future. During our visit, we were given unfettered access to the camp's facilities and its residents. I want to share one brief story with you this evening that exemplifies what we saw during our 5-day stay. After a long day of speeches and panel discussions and media appearances, the members of our delegation were invited to a dinner that was to be hosted by the young women at Ashraf 3. We had no idea what to expect. But the women we encountered that evening, they were confident and deeply, deeply committed. The women we encountered told stories of the unspeakable horrors that they and their families had encountered at the hands of the ayatollahs. They spoke of the regime's torture and executions, human rights abuses and violence. We witnessed their bravery and their courage and their resilience and their abiding commitment to the cause of freedom in Iran. Following our trip, I went to the American delegation and I told them that I want to write a book about what I saw during my 5-day stay with the opposition. The leaders of the American delegation sat me down, looked me in the eye, and they said, "You need to write a book about what we all saw during our stay with the Iranian opposition." Ladies and gentlemen, tonight I am proud to report that this book, titled Iran's Resurgent Resistance, was just published by the Iran Policy Committee. The book has already received advanced praise from senior leaders in the U.S. intelligence community and the Department of Homeland Security and the Department of Defense and the Department of State. I opened my remarks this evening by noting that we stand at a crossroads. We must speak with one voice, and we must declare that there is a viable alternative to theocratic rule in Iran. Freedom and democracy are within reach. Ladies and gentlemen, I dedicated my book, our book, to those struggling for freedom in Iran and around the world. And today, in your presence, I rededicate myself to this noble cause.